This is the TNA Wrestling Under Siege 2025 full show results video which takes place at CAA Centre in Brampton, Ontario, Canada. Robert Stone is in the ring with a microphone and says he calls himself Sheriff Stone and rants negatively about Santino Marella. Santino Marella's music then hits and he makes his way out to confront Stone. Santino tells Stone that he is a son of a gun, then Stone tells Santino that tonight his daughter is going to be in the ring with one of the most dangerous women in wrestling history. Stone then says he's a good guy and he called the local hospital to make sure they have got a comfortable room that says Ariana Grace on it. Santino then asks Stone if he thinks he is funny trying to intimidate a young lady. Santino then says he'll react like a father, not an authority figure if something happens to his daughter tonight. Santino then tells Stone to look in his eyes so he knows how serious he is being when he says it. Then we saw a match between Rosemary versus Za Burnside. In the end, we see Rosemary looks under the ring for something and then pulls out a staple gun. Rosemary also introduces a belt to the mix, then Burnside gets her hands on the belt. Burnside ends up using it and screams as she nails Rosemary with it and a bunch of security guards make their way down to the ring. Burnside then looks around and the referee calls for the bell, and Rosemary won the match by disqualification. After the match, Burnside sees the damage she has caused all around her with bodies everywhere. The fans then chant one more time. Burnside then looks around and after a slight hesitation, starts to unleash belt whips to everyone and anyone in reaching distance and the crowd goes wild. Mike Santana then makes his way down to the ring for the first match of TNA Under Siege and AJ Francis follows. Francis reveals that he is injured and it will be fellow first-class member KC Navaro, not himself, that Santana will be facing tonight. Santana then grabs Navaro from the ring apron and yanks him over the top rope, then slams him onto the mat. Then we saw a match between KC Navaro versus Mike Santana, and the result of this match was Mike Santana defeated KC Navaro by pinfall after hitting the spin the block finisher. After the match, Santana celebrates his win and stops and looks at Navaro on the mat. Santana then helps Navaro up and begins showing him a sign of respect after going through battle with him, only for Francis to hit the ring with his crutch and attack Santana from behind. Navaro doesn't seem to be into it, then Francis orders Navaro to come help him. Navaro then hesitates, but ultimately does so, then Francis grabs Navaro's hand and raises it. The next match happened between Eddie Edwards versus Cody Deaner. We see Edwards puts on the system ring behind the referee's back, then knocks Deaner out with it. Edwards then goes for a cover, but Deaner kicks out. Deaner then comes to life and begins fighting back, then Alicia hits a low blow on Deaner and Edwards hits Deaner with his Boston Knee Party finisher to win the match by pinfall. After the match, the rest of the system make their way out to mock and taunt Deaner about the fact that he is no longer employed. Brian Myers then thanks his best friend Eddie Edwards for finally retiring Deaner. He then tells the fans that they can see Deaner tomorrow at his new job at their local gas station. JDC then gets a turn taunting Deaner and Moose then takes a turn, where he also trashes Canada. This then brings out Eric Young and the Northern Armory. Young asks how long the system thought they are going to let them talk trash. Young then says it looks like the system has a honey badger with them. Young then says they'll bring their own honey badger, the Brampton mascot, to be with them. We now have an impromptu 6-man tag team match and a referee makes his way down to the ring. Then we saw a match between Eric Young and the Northern Armory versus Moose, Brian Myers, and JDC, and the result of this match was Eric Young and the Northern Armory won the match by pinfall when Young hits a piledriver on Moose. Then we saw a Falls Count Anywhere, no DQ match between Ash and Heather by Elegance versus Spitfire for the Knockouts Tag Team Championship. Spitfire put up the stipulation for extra motivation that they will split as a team if they lose. Apparently, this is a match by Elegance, which means no DQ and no countouts. The fight was bonkers with tables, chairs, trash cans, sticks, rhinestones, and makeup accessories. In the end, Maggie Lee ran in to help Elegance. Ash was trying to powerbomb Luna off the apron through a table, but Luna grabbed the ropes to block. Maggie booted Luna into the move, then Luna missed the table and banged her head on the way down. Ash hit a flying splash on Luna to break the table, then Heather smashed Threat with a trash can, and Ash landed a rarefied air finisher to win the match by pinfall, and retains the Knockouts Tag Team titles. Mustafa Ali, Tasha Steeles, John Skyler, and Jason Hutch comes to the ring for the next match, then Trey Miguel, Zachary Wentz, Indy Hartwell also comes, but they have one less member for the match. Raj Singh joined the babyface side, and he calls Ali a narcissist with a god complex. Singh then says he's here to tell Ali to his face that in his hometown of Brampton, Ontario, and then punched Ali in the kisser, and he was officially in the match as the mystery partner. Then we saw a match between Order 4 versus Trey Miguel, Zachary Wentz, Indy Hartwell, and Raj Singh. We see the men formed a scrum in the center, then Steels and Hartwell stepped on top to throw blows, then Hartwell hit a cutter to collapse the pile. In the end, Ali attacked Indy Hartwell, and then hits 450 splash, and the result of this match was Order 4 won the match by pinfall. The next match happened between Tessa Blanchard versus Ariana Grace. Before the next match starts, Robert Stone makes his way out. Stone tells Santino without an official manager's license, he is going to have to ban him from ringside. We see Blanchard hits more offense on Grace and Grace responds with some offense on Blanchard. Grace then hits a big dropkick and a big slam on Blanchard for a 2 count. In the end, Tessa hits the buzzsaw and Magnum on Grace to win the match by pinfall. After the match, Blanchard poses and taunts the crowd, then heads to the back. Santino Marella then comes back out and checks on his daughter. Santino then helps Ariana out of the ring. As this is happening, Robert Stone makes his way out and says big deal she lost and they have got a show to continue, then Stone orders them to hurry up and leave. Stone then introduces who he says will be the next TNA Knockouts World Champion and Victoria Crawford makes her way down to the ring for the next match of TNA Under Siege. Then we saw a match between Masha Slamovic versus Victoria Crawford for the TNA Knockouts World Championship. We see Slamovic starts to take over, but Stone gets involved from ringside again and distracts the referee, then Crawford hits a huge piledriver on Slamovic for a 2 count. In the end, Slamovic ducked an axe kick to fire off a spinning back fist, a head kick, and a piledriver to win the match by pinfall, and retain the TNA Knockouts World Championship. After the match, Slamovic grabs a mic and talks about looking for a worthy challenger. Slamovic then says she's been seeing Laying Lee as of late and she has earned her respect. Slamovic then tells Lee to come down and accept her challenge to face her next for the TNA Knockouts World Championship. The lights then go out and Laying Lee's music hits, then Lee makes her way down to the ring and Robert Stone comes back out. Stone then says wrestlers can't just walk around making the matches they want and then says Laying Lee might very well be worthy of a title shot, but if she wants it, then she'll have to earn it by winning a match next week on Impact. The next match happened between Nicknameoth and Ryan Namath versus Matt Hardy and Leon Slater for the TNA World Tag Team Championship, and the result of this match was Nicknameoth and Ryan Namath won the match by pinfall when Nicknameoth a danger zone on Matt Hardy. Ariana was embarrassed by her loss and Santino was steaming about Stone putting hands on him. Santino had an idea to arrange a match against Stone. Ariana suggested a tag team contest, so she could get another crack at Tessa. Santino was so proud, and says the Cobra is coming for Stone. In the main event of the show, we saw a match between Joe Hendry and Elijah versus Trick Williams and Frankie Kazarian, and the result of this match was Joe Hendry and Elijah defeated Trick Williams and Frankie Kazarian by pinfall when Hendry hit standing ovation slam on Kazarian. Hendry and Trick had a stare down, and the show goes off the air. How much you would rate TNA Wrestling Under Siege 2025 show? Tell me in the comments, and thanks for watching.